Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Aryantanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Siddhanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Ayaryanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Uvajjayanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Saunam. Omkaram Binda Sanyuktam Nityam Dhayanti Yoginam Kamadam Moksadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namah. Namah Samaysaraya Swanubhutya Chakasate Chitsabhavaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavantarachide Ajnanatimir Andhanam Gnana Anjana Salakaya Chaksurmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Tirthankaro Jagatana Jayvantavarto Omkaranada Jinano Jayvantavarto Jinana Samo Sarana Sau Jayvantavarto Nitirthachara Jagama Jayvantavarto Namo Tirthanayakane Namo Omkaranadane Omkara Sangaryotene Namo Sri Kunda Kundale Aho Upakara Jinavarano Kundano Dvani Divyano Jina Kunda Dvaniyapya Aho Te Guru Kanano Aho Te Bhagavati Matano Dhruva Achalane Anupama Gati Pamela Sarve Siddhane Vande Kaho Sutta Kevali Bhasita Asamaya Prabhata Hare Hum Eka Suddha Sada Arupi Jnana Darasanamay Khare Kanyanyate Maru Jari Paramalu Matra Nathi Hare Jam Netra Tema Jnana Nati Karat Nati Vedata Hare Jnane Jakaram Hodaya Nirajara Bandate Najamokshane Om Namah Siddhivya Om Namah Siddhivya Om Sri Sudatmane Namaha. Jai Jandra. Today is June 27, 2018, Wednesday, and we are continuing our class on Samaysar. And we are on Samaysar, stanza 13, and we are almost at the tail part of the stanza right now. Hopefully today, and if not, latest by next week, we should be able to be completely done with the stanza 13. So I'll bring this slide and then we'll start. Okay. Last week we were on this. No. Okay, so last time we were on this slide. We'll just quickly go through it. At present time, there is absence of omniscient Lord among us. So now Gurudev is trying to tell us what is happening amongst the followers about the spirituality and why so many different things are seen around us. Even we are Jains, and amongst the Jain, different things, different types of beliefs are going on. What's the reason? So first he says, when the parents die and the wealth start decreasing, kids start fighting among themselves. So in that sense, our parent is omniscient Lord, and he's not present at this time. Last omniscient Lord was Mahavishwami 2500 years back, and so now we don't have any omniscient Lord. So wealth of omniscient knowledge is decreasing because it is a time of your knowledge capacity, the expressed knowledge capacity is decreasing. Everyone keeps on fighting for the saying that what he says is true and everything else is wrong. Some says auspicious inclination, doing auspicious inclination, there is religious activity. Lots of people will say, I don't care what happens around. Only thing I believe is humanity. Serving humanity is my religion. Nobody said no to that. You have to do that, but there's beyond something is there that you should be also be aware of it. Someone says true religion is a faith in the Dev Shastra Guru. Dev Shastra Guru, omniscient Lord, Holy Scripture, and our Guru, who is enlightened monks. But so somebody will strongly believe that one. But again, that is keeping faith on alien objects. The omniscient Lord, the Holy Scripture, and the enlightened monks, they are also alien objects. Means they are not myself. They are away from me, and my faith is already directed to the alien objects of the universe instead of physical comfort objects. Now I just put my faith on the other alien objects in the terms of a Dev Shastra and Guru. Yeah, that is true. You have to have it, but that is not the true religion. That will be the path. They will be the instrumental cause. Because of their presence, I will be, with my personal effort, will be able to obtain purity. If the faith in the Dev Shastra Guru is only the true religion, then that Marichi, the grandson of Rishabdev, why he did not obtain Samyak Darshan when everybody else, his brothers and cousins and everybody end up getting Samyak Darshan and Keval Gnan also in presence of Rishabdev Bhagwan. It didn't happen to him because his personal efforts were weak. How many times we have gone to the Samaysar of the Bhagwan? Infinite times, not only once, not only twice, infinite times. Why nothing happened to me? Because I did not have my personal effort. So in fact, there is lack of true understanding. If we understand the whole philosophy, whole gamut, whole schema of where I am and what I should be doing it, at least I should have that knowledge. And once that knowledge is there, then automatically doors will keep on opening for me. I will not get stuck somewhere and just say, now what can I do next? Because there is nothing is available in front of me. Think about it, that we are 10,000 miles away from our homeland, and also we are 2,500 years down since the last omniscient Lord Mahavir Swami. Then how come we are able to discuss philosophy today? Because from your busy schedule, you find out you have the personal effort, you have a quest to know the more things, and those things are available to you. Whatever way you can think about it, it's available to us. So most important thing is our personal effort and strong desire for obtaining right thing. If we have that strong desire to, yes, the desire word is not right. Yes, I can think, I can understand. But rather than having desire for obtaining alien objects of the universe, desire, word desire means to obtain something which I don't have it. Means alien objects. I don't have it, I have the desire. But I am the true state. I am the eternal, true, pure state within. I just have to find it. So, lack of better word, we use the word desire, but that's not desire. You already have it. Once you have something, you can't have desire for that. So, you can have a quest for it, quest to have internal look for your pure self. So, this is what it is. So, now, having said that, Gurudev Ji says, in present state, one can have strong or weak modal state, but it does not matter. Your modal state is strong. Your modal state is weak. Remember that modal state lasts for one samay only. So I don't have to worry about my present weakness, my lack of understanding. I am, as long as I have quest to look for the right thing, then that strong or weak modal state does not matter. When one directs his attention to the eternal self, then the true nature of the self is getting experienced. This is the thing we have talked so many times that it becomes almost every slide, every other slide, this kind of thing. Gurudev keeps on hammering on us that remember, you don't have to worry what you are right now. You have to say what you want to be. So my attention to be directed to the eternal soul rather than alien objects of universe, and I will experience myself. It's a right faith. When I experience myself, that's a right faith, and that is the true religion. So it is Tattvat Sutra, Umaswatiji Acharya ji, who wrote down Tattvat Sutra, which is common in all the Jain subdivisions. They all accept that, they all follow that. The very first chapter, very first sutra, very first verse, it says, Samyak darshan jnan charitrani hi moksha, means right faith, right knowledge, right conduct. Unity of all the three is the path to the liberation. So, in that one, he says, right faith, right knowledge, right conduct. Umasatiji Acharya puts right faith as a first one to be on the path for liberation. So that right faith state, once I obtain that right faith state, that's my true religion. To obtain that right faith, if I have to wait for a while, if I have to go through the understanding of the nature of the soul, I have to understand the hierarchy. Who am I? What I'm made up of? What is my real function? Why I'm around here? If that kind of questions have been answered, Hu kaun chu kya thi thayo su swarup che maru kharu. Krupaludev Srimad Rajchandra ji, he wrote down this at a tender age. I think he was about 16 or 17, and he wrote down those kind of sentences, those kind of poems. So it's a right faith. That's a one, it should be my primary aim. Now remember, when I'm looking for right faith, I try to understand what it is. That's what we do every Wednesday, sitting down, discussing all the things. Not only discussion, but when we understand that part, automatically changes in our psyche quietly occurs that we are not aware of it even. Think about it that close to 4 years we are talking these kind of things. We all have, not only you, I have to analyze myself too. That if I'm being given right to speak, am I trying to follow or not? And so I become acutely aware of it, that if I don't follow, I have no right to preach, if you were to say the word preach. So our lives are changing also. So when we understand, when we try to see what true nature is there, then automatically changes are occurring within ourselves. And that is called right understanding. Simply knowing. Simply know. I met people that they will talk absolutely great. I mean, when they are giving Swadhay, it appears that as if the God is talking. After the Swadhyay is over, they'll go back to their home, and after changing clothes and everything, then they'll go to shop. And in the shop, and this is what I have seen, in the shop, if the laborer had a tiny mistake, he may have made tiny mistake of for 1 cent, for example. And this person, the one who was giving Swadhyay, he will blast. He will scream with the 4-letter words in the worst possible way one can ever imagine. Now, a moment before, that person is a saint, and now, next moment, he becomes evil. That is not religion. A religion has to get imbibed in your life, in our life. That practice has to be imbibed in our life. Why should I become angry? Why should I become possessive? Why should I become egoistic? And time to time, those things do come in our existence. The moment I decide I don't want to be egoistic, and situation occurs right in front of us, and at the time my true taste comes out, that am I able to follow what I'm thinking about it or not? So we every day to day our life, these things occurs, and at the time we have to have our own composer in the right fashion. The fruition of karma does not play any part, that we have to have deep understanding. And next slide will tell us why. But right now, fruition of karma does occur. It's not that fruition of karma is not there at all, but I don't pay much attention to it. I have all the situation around is created in front of me, and now I have to become irritated. I have to become angry. Not necessarily, because to become angry or not to become angry is in my hand. And how many times it has happened in our life, professional life and social life and interpersonal life and everything. To become angry or not to become angry is in my hand. People will try as much as possible to force me in that direction, but I should say, not me. You can't touch me. You can't make me angry. So that's a so fruition of karma is there. Situation does occur, but it all depends how I react. Reaction is in my hand. So if I can understand that part and I act accordingly, then I am in driver's seat. One's own wrong personal effort takes him in the wrong faith. I went in the wrong faith because my personal efforts are wrong. I want to improve that girl. I want to improve that person. I want to do this one. And I have doing kind of thinking going on in my mind since morning till evening. I can do this to this person. I can do that to that person. Who am I to do somebody else's work? Yes, I'm a physician. You are a practicing physician. You have compassion. It has to be there. Compassion is second nature for you. You don't have to go and blow the big bugle and say, hey, I had a compassion towards that patient. So what? That's why you're a physician. That's your job. That's your middle name. And you'll be known by that only. How many times in your training and in your professional life you have seen people are extremely egoistic because they are quote unquote superior person or doctor, superior doctor? No, there is no need for that. To be in compassion nature has to be my middle name. That's why I selected that kind of. Otherwise, I could have gone to Wall Street and made zillions of money and everything. So what? It's not going to give me any happiness and everything. Here you are seeing the patient and you feel happy about it, that you did something right for the person. But not on that, that's not, you have not done anything to that patient. You just did your duty, and your personal effort should be directed to yourself. And if compassion nature is there, it is normal. It is to be part of your career and everything. So you don't have to just say, oh yeah, I'm very compassionate nature, I did this and that. No, you don't have to talk about it. I get up in the morning, I'm a healthy person, I go, I pray to God, I go to bathroom, I do the toothbrush and everything, I go for jogging, I do. So those are routine for me. I don't have to keep on telling everybody, hey, I woke up at 6 o'clock morning. I woke up at 4 in the morning. Who cares about it? It's a normal. You like it, you do it. So that's what we have to think about. One's own right person, the right effort directs him to the right faith. I am the instigator for my wrong faith, my right faith. Where do I have the importance in my life? For a simple thing like making my life comfortable, we went through the rigorous training and grade school, high school, college, and a medical school, and residence and everything. All these things we did just to have comfort in my life. For that comfort in the life, if one can spend 25 years of his life, 30 years of his life to obtain that comfort, this is a going, the Gurudev says, this comfort, when you obtain real right faith, then that comfort is going to give you not this love, but forever is going to give you super senses bliss forever. So think that way. And let's have some of the time devoted for looking for myself to improve myself so that I can obtain comfort in the form of right faith in the future. Now, from the previous slide, I said this next slide is coming. So this is what Gurudev remembers one of the earlier events in the beginning of his monkhood state. He took the Diksha at age 24. And about 25, 26 years of age, he's a junior monk in his congregation. Now see what happens at the time. 1 year of monkhood state at age 24. So this is only 1 year that he's in the monkhood state. Now, he was bold enough to say that wrong faith mode is not due to fruition of karma, but due to altered personal effort on the part of the living being. At age 24, he is that bold enough, very junior in the whole congregation. And then one of his colleagues, Sadhu, was telling something, and Gurudev kept on listening. Gurudev kept on listening for 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, and then he just lost his composure and say, his associated Sadhu was telling that the wrong faith, mithyatva, within me is because of a karma fruition. And at that time, Gurudev said, listen, this is not true. The wrong faith mode does not come because there is fruition of karma. Yes, fruition of karma is associated thing. But wrong faith I'm making by myself, and fruition of karma simply is a limit there. I am the instigator for wrong faith. At that tender age of 24, when he's the most junior in the congregation, he had the guts to stand up for the right thing. He refuted the rampant belief. Not only it was that his colleague was talking that way, but there was a rampant belief in the whole Jain community at large that fruition of karma is the reason for wrong faith. Karma uday is the reason for mithyatva. There was a rampant, that's a total belief was there. One can remove his wrong faith with his own personal effort, means own purusharth. That's what Gurudev said at age 24. Then continuously from there, remember what happens? This kind of radical true thought occurred to him due to remembering from the past lives. In the past life, Gurudev Sri, he was in a Mahavadya Kshetra. And in Mahavadya Kshetra, there was the Tirthankar was Simanda Swami, which it is still there. He listened to the discourses of Simanda Swami. And from that remembrance, that impression in his mind from previous life, that came into the existence right now. Those impressions woke up right now. And that's why he started talking, even though he, at that age, he has not seen Samaysar or Pravachan or any of the literature from Kunkunacharya Dev. Not knowing all those things, not having the access to Samaysar and Pravachan, Samaysar came in his hand in about 8 years after this incident. Till then, people said, give us the reference. He says, there's no reference, but I'm telling you it's a fact. So he does not have any access to any. Today we have the Google and we have the iPad and we have this and that. Nothing was there at the time. But he kept on saying the right thing. So this is the way he was bold enough to say age 24 and continued that kind of things until age 91, and he kept on telling us the right thing. What he insisted that understand, understand, understand. Anybody used to go to Gurudev and say, Gurudev, what shall I do? He will say, do Swadhyay, do Swadhyay, do Swadhyay. But what do I do? I mean, can I do fasting? Can I do this? Can I do Swadhyay? Why? By doing Swadhyay, by doing self-study, by reading the literature, your doubts get clearer. Once the doubts getting clear and everything, then that particular person will automatically go towards himself. One example. Let's say that I'm extremely thirsty right now. I went out for jogging in 105-degree temperature in Phoenix. I came home and I'm perspiring heavily and I'm extremely thirsty. And there's a glass of water standing. I'm trying to grab that glass of water to drink that water. And somebody prevents me to take that glass of water. I say, why? Tell me why I can't drink that water. And that person says, there's a poison in this water. How long will it take for me to stop to go away from that glass of water? As soon as I have a knowledge, there is already that this is not good for me, that kind of information, of course, right away. So same way Gurudev Sri says that you understand, you have the knowledge of yourself. Once you have the knowledge of yourself, then all these alien objects of the universe, they are not mine. That kind of attitude will occur to you instantaneously. Provided what you read, you put it into your mind and your heart and try to make these things accordingly. So that's why there is Samaysar stanza 33, I think. Samaysar stanza 33, when we come, it will be coming there. That it says that knowledge itself is renunciation. Knowledge itself is renunciation, just like that knowledge of a glass having water, having poison, that knowledge itself becomes renunciation, that I separate myself from that glass of water. Same way, any type of knowledge we get it, then we have the renunciation occur. And that is a renunciation means I'm going away from the alien objects of the universe. Yes, I have a business, I have a car, I have a family, I have a house, all those things are there. But internally, I just say, they are not mine. So that attitude starts get cultivated in our mind right away. So that's the importance of knowledge. So Gurudev kept on pushing. Amrit Chandra Acharya Dev kept on pushing. Kunkun Acharya Dev kept on pushing that understand, knowledge is prime thing. Knowledge is Jainism is knowledge. What knowledge? Knowledge of the self. Once I have knowledge of the self, everything else will become separate from me. In true sense, if I read that one and if I apply in my life, and you have so many experiences happening in your life that knowledge stands in front of you. And believe me, I'll tell you, you both are medical professional, and God forbid something goes wrong, and it does occur occasionally beyond your control. But at that time, this knowledge will stand with you and just say, I did my level best. Outcome was not in my hand, and that's it. You will remain equanimity state. You will not freak out. You will not say, let me go and change my chart and these. No, you are digging your own grave if you do that. No, I have done everything in my capacity, whatever happens, happens. I don't have control on it. So that's it. So that kind of equanimity will occur. And I'm telling you from my own experience also, because I'm in the same business as you. So I know what can happen. And God, not God, it will happen in your life. Whether you like it or not, it will, but at the time, your knowledge will stand with you, will make you feel stronger. So that's what happens. Okay, anyway. Uproar in the community. Now, what happens? Radical thinking created this kind of radical thinking Gurudev gave. It created uproar in the entire Jain community at large. When Gurudev said that karma cannot do anything, it's my own wrongdoing makes me feel wrong. So he gave references to his belief that one himself is responsible for his own deed, right or wrong. Karma fruition was not the reason. So he kept on insisting that one, that that right or wrong thing, I'm responsible for that. Nobody else is responsible for that. Pravachan starts now suddenly at this point. Remember, 13th stanza is long back done basically. Now in these lectures that we are going through, Gurudev Sri, these are the lectures Gurudev Sri gave last time. 19th time. He read Samaysar 19 times in the lectures in the discourses. From 1 to 415 stanza, he went through 19 times, and this is the 19th time he is giving pravachans. And at the time, he is in the pinnacle of his knowledge. He is shining with knowledge. He is just loaded with knowledge. And the extreme important thing comes out when he gives the discourses and everything. And his style is so beautiful that slowly and nicely he introduces new short subjects when he gives lecture pravachans to us. So this way now he says at this time, Panchastika stanza 62 say that right wrong notion occurs to the living being due to his own 6 causes occurring in the mode, karma fruition simply acting as instrumental cause. This is the very, very radical idea Gurudev is giving in this Samaysar lectures. What he says, that right or wrong, whatever I do, I am the reason for that. And actually, the wrong mode occurs within me. Let me be angry at that person. Let me be greedy. Let me be this. Let me be that. That kind of notion. Or let me help somebody. Let me give donation to the temple. Let me go to temple, do puja, abhishek regularly and everything. That kind of auspicious inclination I do. Or I want to go within myself. I'm away from the inauspicious inclination. I do some auspicious inclination, but my aim is to go within. And with one fine moment, I do experience myself. That is also because of my personal efforts. And those modes, inauspicious inclination mode, auspicious inclination mode, or the mode of the purity, or the mode of the experiencing of the soul. Though either of any of the 3 modes occurring, they are occurring because due to my own 6 causes. And karma fruition simply acts as instrumental cause. Karma fruition simply present there. Karma fruition did not do anything. I end up doing auspicious, inauspicious, or my innate mode because of myself, because of my 6 causes. And quietly, very subtle way, Gurudev Sri introduces subject of 6 causes. And Panchastika stanza 62 and Pravachan stanza 16 are 14, I think 14. Yeah, they are dealing with these 6 causes. So now he is introducing to us about the 6 causes. What are those 6 causes? pure or impure modes, means 9 real modes, occur due to self only. In 13th stanza, we came to conclusion that yes, pure or impure mode occurs because of me only. Karma fruition in the form of instrumental cause is simply present but does not take part in the formation of an act. Light in this room is simply instrumental cause. In this presence of light, I want to go to sleep. I close my eye. Then I close my eye. I want to read. Then I decided to read in front of this light. I decided to look at the computer. That light remains instrumental cause. So either I'm sleeping or reading or I'm on computer work, light simply acts as an instrumental cause. Similarly, same way, karma fruition acts as an instrumental cause. Karma fruition is there. It is not denied, but they simply act as an instrumental cause. Now, even though modes occur due to self, they are modes only. My mode is occurring because of myself. My own personal effort is the reason for creation of my mode. Remember, over here we have to remember, we have touched several different topics that Gurudev has taught us so far in up to stanza 13. And we don't, when the one act he is explaining to us, there are also other angles are there, and we have to be aware of it, but we don't have to deviate from this present act that's been mentioned. Other acts are there, and then we have to put everything together. One second. Hello. Yeah, this is Kirit. Can you call me after 1 hour? I'm tied up right now. Okay, that's fine. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, so the modes are occurring because of myself, my personal effort. Now, at the same time, you may say, wait a second, modes are coming in the sequential order. Why do you say that you are the reason for modes creation? Now, remember, the angle used over here is a different angle. What over here, it is talking from your personal efforts point of view. Yeah, modes are coming in a sequential order, but at the same time, I am also having my own personal effort. So this sentence that Gurudev is giving us from the personal effort point of view. So we don't have to mix both the things and kind of get carried away and say, wait a second, it doesn't make sense. No, right now, for let's say that I decide that in my mode, let's say the housewife decided that today food is occurring, but I'm not going to put any efforts, because if there is if my mode coming in sequential order, if it is supposed to have the food to be made, it will be made. I'm not going to do anything. No, that housewife will put her personal effort and food is made. So both the things are there. Personal effort is there, and also modes coming in sequential order is also there. So we have to remember not to mix up those two things. We have to understand what particular subject is going on. So even though modes occur due to self, they are modes only, bringing faith to the eternal true nature of the soul, and then 9 reals become untrue. Now, what they say over here, it says first, it says about the modes. Modes are occurring, but they are modes only. But when I'm looking at the eternal true nature of the soul self, then these 9 reals occurring in the modes, 9 reals occurring in the modes, they become secondary and thereby untrue. They become secondary and thereby untrue. Untrue does not mean they were never been there. They are there. If I look from the modal aspect, all the 9 reals are present. all 9 tattva are present. But when I'm putting eternal true nature of the self, then these 9 real become very, very secondary, and thereby we can say they are untrue. There's one line written on a wall with a chalk stick. And I said, don't erase, don't touch this line and make this line small. How can you do that? Without touching. So I make a big line in front of it, and so this line automatically becomes a small line because there's a one big line over here. Similarly, by putting attention to the eternal true nature of the self, then the modal nature becomes way secondary, and thereby it's called untrue. Now, presence of 9 real mode is accepted. They are accepted, they are present in modal state, they do occur, but in comparison to eternal true nature of the self, they are made secondary and thereby untrue. When there's a big line is over here, then teeny tiny small line automatically become insignificant, and thereby it's called untrue. So modal state is called present but untrue. Now, what are those 6 causes that they are reason for modes formation? The Shat Karak, it's called Shat Karak, 6 causes. What are those 6 causes making the mode's existence? A mode is created. A mode is created from the soul. A mode is created from the self. A mode is, I'm the creator of my own mode. You are the creator of your own mode. This phone is a creator of its own mode. This piece of paper is a creator of its own mode. Every substance creates its own mode. And in their own mode, there are 6 causes are reason. The 6 causes are there by which a given mode is generated. And again, that generation of the mode and 6 causes are within me only. I am the creator of those two. So those 6 causes are the 6 attributes. And the 6 attributes, they are helping to create a present mode right now that I have it. So what are the 6 causes? All right, let's see. Doer, karta, deed, karma, means karan, purpose means receiver of the performance means sampradhan, source means donor or apadan, and supporting stage means adhikaran. Now, lots of new names are there, and we will just Sanskrit name: karta, karma, karan, sampradhan, apadan, adhikaran. Now, this is not simply that Gurudev picks out from the hat and just talks about. These are, if we are the student of Sanskrit, if you're the student of Sanskrit, then there are 8 things are there. These are only 6 things that we are using. There are 8 things are there. There is one over here and maybe one coming over here. So there are, it's called vibhakti. They are called vibhakti. And they are in absolutely certain act. If I'm the doer of an act, then I'm the first vibhakti. I created a deed. The deed is called karma vibhakti. Means whatever means I use, that is called karan vibhakti. Like that, they are the grammar of the Sanskrit. These are the things are in the heart of the grammar of the Sanskrit. So these are the things that has been applied into the soul, all the substances, but primarily into the soul, that these 6 causes are present in a given mode. In a given mode, all these 6 things are present, and they are the reason the mode is generated. So now we are into the generation, the mode status, that how the mode is generated. And this is that Panchastika stanza 62, very beautifully Kunkunacharya Dev has explained, and Amritchandracharya Dev has explained about those things. And Gurudev has expanded extremely nicely. So we are going to learn for those kind of things. All right. So hang on to your seat. We are just going a wild ride right now. So Karak means agents or cause or factor, and or it's called a case. For example, in the grammar, it's called case. So 6 cases are there. Actually there are 8 cases, but for a given substance the 6 are there. A seventh one is a sambodhan. Sambodhan means I greet a person. So that's a sambodhan, and the other one is there. So the 8 cases are there, out of which 6 that we are taking, which will be used for creation of a given mode. Now, let's see. There are 6 types. These cases are 6 types that we are going to be using over here. One which is helpful in completion of act is known as Karak. The word Karak comes. What does Karak means? Karak means, we just put above English words and everything, but it really means completion of the act. One which is helpful in completion of an act. I am angry right now. That's an act. To complete that act, 6 causes are there. I am in my innate state right now. To complete that innate act, I need karaks. I need agents. I need causes, and that is called karak. One which manages every action is known as karak. In a mode, from different angles, if I look at it, there are different actions are going on, different types of same act, from different angle I'm looking at it, and that is called karak. One who is originator of the action is known as karak. I'm doing an act. I'm the actor, and I'm doing an act. I'm the actor means I'm the soul substance, and I'm doing an action means I'm doing my mode. So soul as a substance creating the mode. I as an actor creating an act. And that is originator of the action is known as karak. So far for karak we talked about. Now each karak we are going to talk little bit in detail and to see what it is. And remember, this is very important because that helps us that how a mode is created. And so I am the creator of my mode. That idea will become solidified, because first karak is called nominative case, or it's called doer agent, or subject performed by oneself, or it's called performer or doer causation. Karta karak. Karta karak means nominative case or doer agent or subject performed by oneself or performer or doer causation. So that's called karta. One who is doing an act. I'm doing an act. I'm doing an act of speaking. That is called karta. Who is doing it? I am doing it. Second is called karma. Karma karak. Karta karak and karma karak. Means accusation. When we say nominative case, accusative case, that's a grammatical words. That, if you go through the Sanskrit grammar, which is the mother of all the languages on the earth, and that language is so detailed, so important, and so if we learn that, I mean, it is just out of this world, that feeling one can get it. In Sanskrit, there are more than 2 billion words are there. Billion with B, not million, billion. More than 2 billion words are there. In contrast, English language in 12th and 13th century had few hundred words were there in the vocabulary. Now you can imagine what's the richness of this language. And there is Kunkunacharya Dev wrote down 2 lines only. Dhruva achalane anupama gati pamela sarve siddhane Vandi kahu sut kevali bhasit asamay prabhat are. That's it. So 2 lines only Kunkunacharya Dev wrote down. In 2000 years back, about 1000 years back, Amrit Chandra Acharya, he expanded those 2 lines and he wrote down commentary in Sanskrit language. And that commentary in Sanskrit language is extremely highly appreciated by every person who knows Sanskrit. It's the highest form of commentary ever written by any other person alive or dead so far. And in that one, Amritchandra Acharya Dev writes the Sanskrit commentary on these 2 lines that Amritchandra Acharya writes down. Kunkun Acharya Dev wrote down. So Amritchandra Acharya Dev gives commentary on those 2 lines, and then Gurudev, after 1000 years again, gave the detailed explanation. Each and every word he breaks down and he put in front of us, all those things with giving the reference from different directions and all the things. So we are absolutely super lucky that we have all this access available to us in front of us. So karta means doer, one who is doing the action. Karma means action, means deed causation, deed performance. I am angry. I am the doer of anger, and anger is my karma. Remember, karma is not the karma that we talk about, Gnana Varna karma, Darshana Varna. No, that's different things. This karma means action. So my anger is called action. I am the doer. So doer causation, doer agent. I am the doer agent. And what did I do? What is my deed? To become angry, for example. Karan means instrumental case, means instrumental cause. To do this act, what kind of instrument did I use it? It means immediate cause, instrument, efficiency attainment, operation, operator, base sources to obtain the result, means instrumental causation. Means what are the things that I did to become angry? Remember, instrumental causation. Can that karma fruition be the reason for my instrumental causation to me becoming angry? Remember, 6 causes are occurring within me only. They're not coming from alien objects of the universe. They're occurring from me only. So that Quran has to be within me only. So we will just see what it comes out later on. Sampradhan. Sampradhan means dative case in grammar, nominative case, accusative case, instrumental case, and dative case in grammar. But deed which is done for someone or something, for someone or something. I did something. I did something for you to enjoy, for example. I did something to have you get comfort, for example. So that is called sampradhan. I did something for somebody else to use it. So deed which is given to someone's purpose, or samyak prakare dan apute, receiver of performance. So who is receiver of the performance? I am doing something to help you out, right? No, that's not sampradhan. Sampradhan means it has to be within me only. Who is a beneficiary of this thing that I'm doing it? So it is within me only. All the 6 causes occur within a given substance only. They don't go out. So sampradhan means I'm offering to somebody, offering to something to someone. That someone is me only here. And we'll come back to later on. We are just going through names right now. Apadan, ablative case. The deed coming out of a permanent thing is known as apadan. Source, donor, donor causation, source causation. Here it's a performance causation. Here is a source causation. Here is an instrumental causation. Here is a deed causation. Here is a doer causation. So in a apadan means a deed, again anger, a deed coming out of a permanent thing is known as apadan. Means who is a permanent thing within me? Eternal soul substance. So something coming out from the eternal soul substance can be called source causation. So that's a source of the things coming out as a result. And the last one is called adhikaran, means locus substratum, the place in which the cause operates. It is the one who helps, whose help is needed to perform the deed. One's support is needed to perform the deed is a adhikaran. Jena adare karya thaite, supporting stage causation, basis of action. Means if I'm doing something, what's the basis for that action? That's what it says. So now these are the six causes. Karta, karma, karan, sampradana, apadan, adhikaran, six causes are there. And now, next slide, we will see a little bit more how they are applied. And that will give us a little bit better understanding of these things. I know it's a new subject, new terminology, and it will take a little while for us to understand, but don't worry about it. We'll make it. We'll make it. From the conventional point of view, now remember, the six causes can be seen by two different ways. Conventional point of view, or it can be seen from the absolute point of view. Ultimately, absolute point of view is important, but to understand absolute point of view, we have to take conventional point of view, some example for us to understand. And so now we are talking about a pot maker. A pot maker is making pot. You may not have seen these things, but it does occur that the pot maker takes there is a container over here. He has a clay over here, wet clay, and then there is this circle is there, and he moves it with his with a stick. He keeps on moving that one, and then he puts a lump of clay over here, and then he puts his hand, and then the pot comes out, and he puts the pot over here. He's called Kumbhar. Kumbhar means he is the pot maker. His job is to make the pot. Now, the six causes we are trying to apply in this situation. Exactly what happens. What happens? Let me have these guys become small. I need to move this one here. Okay. The pot maker is a karta or doer agent. This guy, he is, remember, this is conventional point of view. So let's think that way only, because multiple outside things we are going to try to put over here to explain this situation. So pot maker is making a pot. So he is a doer agent. So he is a doer of the pot making action. He is a doer, karta. Okay. Now, pot is a deed. What does he? Sorry. What does he making? He is a doer, but what is he making? What is his job? His job is to create a pot. So pot is a deed. Means the results of his action. He is doing this act. He is doing this act, and this is the action going on. So these pots are made. He's making right now pot. So pot is a deed or karma. Wheel, thread, and stick are the karan. We don't have a picture of that, but he is going to have he has this wheel is there, and then he has a stick on his hand, and he will put the stick on one of these spoke of the wheel, and then he's going to move the wheel round and round and round. There are no mechanical things available. You may just say, why not to put the electricity and do those things? No, these are the old business of making pot, handmade pot and everything. So the wheel Then once the pot is made the desired thing that he makes it, then he uses a thread to cut it out from the base of the wheel. So he uses thread. He uses a stick to have this wheel going round and round and round. So that is called immediate cause or karan or instrument. So he is a doer, he is the deed is making pot, and all the supporting actions are the karan, immediate cause. Pot maker is making pot for, why is he making pot right now? Because the person who wants to put water in it, so that person is sampradhan. Deed is given to someone. This pot he's making, he's not going to keep it with him. He's in a business, so he's going to sell. So person who wants to put water in the pot, so he is becomes that person is becomes sampradhan. He is acceptor of this act occurred over here. Then from the basket over here, this basket, he takes the clay. From the basket, he took the clay to make the pot. That is why this basket and this clay becomes apadan, means obliterated cause or deed coming out of a permanent thing. Deed coming out of this deed of pot making coming out from the clay which is present in this basket. So that's called apadan. And adhikaran. Adhikaran means he made the pot with the support of the earth, so earth is adhikaran. Means he is sitting. He is sitting on the earth. His wheel is sitting on the earth. He's everything. The clay is sitting on the earth. All these things are so. Earth is a supporting agent. So one's help is needed to perform the work. So over here, we are looking from a conventional point of view. We are doing we brought 6 different guys, 6 different actors to complete an act. We had the pot maker, we had the pot, we had the wheel and the stick and the thread, we had the clay, we had the earth, and we had the person who is going to take this pot to put the water in it. So we had the 6 things are happening, and that's conventional point of view, 6 karak, 6 causes for an act to be completed. Because we are putting all different agents over here, we are bringing pot, we are bringing wheel, we are bringing clay, we are bringing a pot maker. So everybody is different over here. That's why it's a conventional point of view. Now that I understand this one, once again, because next slide will be a little bit, next slide, these are the conventional point of view. Next slide, we are going to bring it from absolute point of view. So again, this is doer. Pot maker is doer. Pot making is a deed. The wheel, thread, and a stick are the agents, means karan. Then pot is to be offered to somebody to put water in it. So that's a sampradhan. Pot is the basket is the one which carries the basket, and clay are the reasons that from where the clay is coming out. So that's called apadan. And adhikaran, whose support, earth is a supporter. So these are the things that we know 6 causes. So if we can understand this one, now we are going to go to the absolute point of view and see what happens. From absolute point of view, 1 second. All the 6 causes, 6 karaks are in the substance by itself. They are present in the substance by itself. So that one is once saying that one. The clay independently, remember now we are going to put everything on the clay only. We will excuse me, we'll put clay as a reason for everything, because clay is a substance. So clay independently ends up becoming pot. Clay by itself ends up becoming pot. So clay is a karta. Clay is a doer. Remember, we are talking absolute point of view right now. The pot which cannot be separated from the clay, and that's why pot or clay is a karma. The pot has a clay in certain form. So clay and pot cannot be separated out. So clay itself, pot, you just say pot, or you can say clay by itself is a karma, means deed. Karma means pot which cannot be separated from the clay, and that's why pot or clay is a karma. Means karta means doer, and this is deed. That clay or the pot itself is a deed. Okay. Clay by itself, by its own modification property, got converted into a pot. So clay by itself is a Quran. Remember we said, I am reason for my own modification. I can be angry, I could be quiet, I could be in my own innate nature. I have independence of doing those kind of things. So clay, by its own modification, clay was supposed to get transformed into the pot at that particular time. So clay by itself, by its own modification property, got converted into the pot. So the clay by itself is a reason, is an instrument. Clay was supposed to get modified. So clay itself is an instrument for that. Clay gave pot type of deed to itself. Clay gave pot type of deed to clay itself. The clay made the pot and offered the pot to clay only. So that means the pot becomes sampradhan, or the clay becomes sampradhan, means acceptance of the deed. Clay itself accepted and said, I am the deed. So clay itself accepted that sampradhan, means accepted the gift. Clay itself accepted that pot as a gift to be given to the clay. So that's a sampradhan. Now, clay remained permanent in the transformation from clay to pot. So the clay by itself is apadhan. Remember what happens? Clay remained permanently. Clay remains in the transformation of the pot. Even in the pot, clay is still present. So clay remained permanently in transformation. Clay was in the form of lump. Clay was in the form of a wet pot. Clay becomes the dry pot and everything. So everywhere clay remained. So all the things occurring from the clay itself. So clay is called apadana, through which all these things happen. So pot happened from the clay itself. So clay becomes apadana. And clay took its own support to make pot. Remember there we had the earth. Here clay took its own support to make a pot. So clay itself is adhikaran. So let's see. We can put the pot maker's action over here and see what happens. Clay independently ends up making pot. So clay is karta, means over here was that pot maker. Pot which cannot be separated from the clay, that's why pot is a pot, or the clay is current. So over here, pot making action is called karma in the previous slide. Clay by itself own modification property got converted into pot. So clay by itself is karan. So there in the previous slide was the wheel and the thread and the stick and everything, they were the instrument. So here clay itself is an instrument. Clay gave pot type of deed to itself. Over here in the previous slide, that pot was supposed to be there for the person who wants to put water in the pot, means a customer. So here customer is a clay itself. Clay said, hey, I am the one receiving you're receiving the pot, so I as a clay is a receiver. Clay remain permanently transferred the clay to the pot, so clay is by itself apadan. Means there we were saying that the clay and the basket were the apadan. Clay and the basket through which the lump was taken to make the pot. Means clay was the originator, and through which the pot is made. So over here, clay says, okay, I gave you all these things. I am the reason to have all these things. So I am the apadan. And last one, the earth was the supporter, and clay itself says, hey, you know what? I took my own support. I didn't have anybody else's support needed. So I took my own support. So clay itself is an adhikaran. So all the 6 causes that we see conventional point of view, now we are putting the same thing in the clay, and that way we can have some better understanding what these 6 causes mean. We are talking clay right now, but I mean, you know, I want to know what happens to me, myself. So that this is Jain Siddhant Prashnottarmala, page 125, 126. There's a reference. So, you know, if you want to go through that, you can go through it. Now, I'm becoming angry. This is me now. Means us. I'm becoming angry. How can you put all the 6 causes when I'm getting angry? So it tries to tell us how that thing is happening. Let's see. Let's bring it here. Okay. Okay. So 6 causes from absolute point of view in the form of anger. In the form of anger. I had to put that anger within oneself only. In the pot making, we made all the 6 different causes. Pot maker, pot, the thread, wheel, stick, and clay, and all kind of thing we use it. Over here, we have to put everything within me. So doer, me, soul is the one who is becoming angry right now. So doer cause. Deed, I ended up with the anger. That's a deed. Means my expectation, my non-alertness. I had expectation from you and it didn't happen. That's why I became angry myself. So what are the means? My expectation, my non-alertness. I was not alert enough that this is anger is not my true nature. But I lost my alertness. That's why I became angry. So I am the means I am the means for my own anger. Receiver of the performance. What happens? Who received that anger? I ended up losing my purity. I'm supposed to be the pure state. I'm supposed to be the innate state. I'm supposed to be in my pure modes and everything. Now, I ended up losing that purity, which receiver of the performance is my loss of my purity. This is the donor. Who is the donor? And the peace of the soul, and of the peace of the soul. So who is the donor? Who gave this anger? The peace of the soul ended up, and that's why the anger occurred. So I am the one. Supporting cause, remember previously was earth. My own wrong intention was a supporting cause. Let's put that pot maker again. Pot maker is instead of soul, pot maker. The pot, second one. The third one, my means cause means my expectation of my non-alertness, and there it was the wheel and thread and the stick and everything. Fourth one, receiver of performance was a customer, was the receiver of performance. Here, I am the customer because I ended up losing up my purity. So I am the customer. The donor who gave the clay for the pot making, the basket having clay was a donor. Over here, my end piece of my soul was a donor for my own anger. And who was the supporting cause? Earth was a supporting cause for that pot maker to make pot. Here, my own wrong intention are the supporting cause for me to be angry. Now, knowing these things, when an anger occurs, whom am I going to blame? I'm going to blame the 6 causes. And where are those 6 causes? They are within me only. So I have to look within me when I'm losing my cool. I am the reason for my losing my cool. I am the reason for the peace of my mind. I am the reason for loss of my peace of my mind. I am the reason. It just gives independence to me. I am angry. I'm the reason. I'm at peace. I'm reason. I'm in an inner state. I'm the reason. There is no need to blame others. My partner used to say lots of time, Deepak Jana, he used to say that Kirit, victory has 1,000 fathers, but defeat has none. So here, if you are successful, everybody will come and take credit for that. God forbid something goes wrong, nobody will take credit for that. I am the one. So even in success, I'm the reason. Even in my failure, I'm the reason. And it will help. This kind of information will help us exactly on the time when we are down in the dump, while we have nothing going our right way and everything. At that time, this thing will help us out. That I'm the reason, not to blame to anybody. Just because something happened, I don't have to blame whole world. I'm the reason for that. So that's the thing we have to think. Now, one more thing coming, I think, mode is getting generated by itself by its own 6 causes. Now we talked about anger. Now we are talking about the real mode occurring within me and the 6 causes. So how those 6 causes help me out. The soul substance has no control over it. Now remember, mode is getting generated by itself, by its own 6 causes. Mode has its own. Right now, I am sitting into my soul and analyzing that where all these things are happening. I am not outside the soul. I am within the soul structure. I have entered the domain of the soul. And I said, is the soul substance is a reason for this situation? No. Is a attribute the reason for this problem? No. Mode says, I am the reason for myself. So substance has no control over it. Soul substance says, I am there eternally pure. And if I'm the reason, then everybody has to be pure all the time. But I don't have control on the mode for the person to be in the wrong faith. That mode itself is a reason. So now, Gurudev is trying to tell us, Kunkun Acharya Dev and Amritchandra Acharya Dev tells us about independence of this mode. We know the independence of substance, but now independence at modal level they are talking. Mode which lasts for one samay, in a blink of an eye, innumerable samay passes by, out of which that one samay, one mode, and that has its own importance. That has its own independence. And this is the kind of extreme pinnacle of independence that Kunkun Acharya Dev taught us. Not only soul substance is independent, not only this universe is independent, or not only 6 universal substances are independent, but attributes are independent, and even one Samay mode is also independent, does not care anything else. So the attributes cannot control it. The mode occurring within me, it's I am, the mode is a reason for it. Even attribute has no control on it. All right? I am the soul substance. I have knowledge attribute. If knowledge attribute is a reason, then I should have Keval Gnan right now. I should have omniscience knowledge right now. But even attribute has no control, because I am in an ignorant state right now, because my mode has decided that way. 6 causes of my mode decided for me to be in the ignorant state. Now, immediate dissipation of prior mode is not the reason for it. And sometimes in the future, this third bullet will come. And that is very, very important also. In the sense, let's say I have 10 modes in a series we can imagine. First, 1, 2, 3, 4 are the modes which are the wrong faith mode. 1, wrong faith. Number 2, wrong faith. Number 3, wrong faith. Number 4 is wrong faith. So 1 did not help second one did not help third one did not help fourth. They independently became wrong faith mode. Fifth one, by itself, became a right faith mode. So this fourth one has no influence on the fifth one to come as a right faith mode. If I work very hard, I'll get fruits of my labor. So working hard is a cause, and fruits of my labor is a result. But over here says there is no cause-effect relationship. Fourth mode came by itself. Fifth mode came by itself. So this fifth number mode is independent. Does not believe, does not depend on soul, does not depend on attribute, does not depend on the previous mode also. Then instrumental cause is not the reason. Instrumental cause is so far away. Here, remember, soul itself, I'm within the soul structure. Soul substance is not reason. Attributes are not reason. Previous mode is not reason. So instrumental cause occurs in the instrumental cause in the alien object. So they are not the reason. Alien objects cannot interfere. My house, my money, my family, they cannot influence my mode coming out. And last one, this mode is non-relativistic. Remember that word non-relativistic word came before? That substance is non-relativistic. Same with the mode is also non-relativistic. And that's why this mode, because we understand this part, because we understand this section, that's why we just said, so the mode is non-relativistic. That means this mode comes independent of anything else. All really 5 different things in the front of it, the mode does not care for them thing. Mode comes by its own independent occurrence, and that's it. So when this mode is non-relativistic, means it's nirapeks, that means it is independent, and that means it is called the nature of this mode, which is called innate nature of this mode. Innate nature of the mode. So if this mode is an anger mode, then anger is an innate nature of the mode. Innate nature of the mode. It came by itself. It did not depend on anybody at all, anything at all. And because it's independent, because it's non-relativistic, that's why this mode is also called parinamic bhav of the mode. Substance is an innate, substance is a non-relativistic, so substance is a parinamic bhav, means independent, means innate, means non-dependent on anything else. non-relativistic relationship with anything else. Same way, mode also has. So this is the pinnacle of the independence described in Samaysar.
So Kiranko, a vibhav pariyai
Yeah.
has its own parinamic vowel?
Yes, because remember, we are, when we say parinamic bhav of the mode, that's what we have to keep it in our mind. Because this mode, number fifth mode, is supposed to be Samyak Darshan mode. So it came by that way. Number fourth mode was supposed to be in a Mithyatva mode. So it came that way. So fourth mode came independently, fifth mode came independently. Nobody was the reason over here. Nobody was the reason. If everybody were the reason for it, then why that Marichi did not obtain Samyak Darshan in front of Rishabdev Bhagwan in Samasaram, and why the same soul of Marichi end up getting Samyak Darshan in the life of the lion when he's in jungle, when there is nobody around, and he already has killed the deer and eating the meat of that one. Because it was that mode was non-relativistic. It was supposed to occur independently by its own six causes. So that is that's a pinnacle of the independence described in literature. And once we understand this part, sure, we are living in this society. We are the householder. We have to do lots of relationship with the alien object. But at the same time, this should be in the back of my mind that my mode also is pure. I'm not sorry, I'll take that one. My mode is independent. My mode is non-relativistic. So I have my six causes are the reason for the mode to occur. And this kind of information only will have when something is not going right in my life. Rather than blaming whole world, that person is a reason for my problem. That person is a reason. That situation is bad. This guy in the business pulled my leg. Nobody pulls your leg. Whatever is supposed to happen to you will happen. That guy will be instrumental cause. So you accept that one, you have peace of mind. And if the peace of mind is there, your personal effort will be solidified and your faith will become stronger. And that's why even the negative situation in the life are the great teacher for us. Those situations are great situations. Those are great situations. And we have to grab it and just say, thank you for showing me the path. So these are the things that Gurudev is trying to explain to us. This is a difficult subject, but if you don't remember those names, don't worry about it. Karta, karma, karan, sampradan, apadan, adhikaran, those words will come when we go through the literature reading, but at least there's a meaning for that, and we are understanding that one, that ultimately it is showing the non-relativistic nature of the mode. That's the whole intent telling all these things to us. Any questions so far? This was, I can assure you, this was not an easy to grab everything because of lots of new names came up. But I'll share it out slide to you right now, so that way at least you may have to have one more chance to go through it. Okay. Any questions?
Good, thank you.
Okay. Okay. So we'll do the closing. Okay. जावाणी के ज्ञान से सूझे लोकालोक सोवाणी मस्तक नमो सदा देत हो दो 9 times नमो करो. Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra.
Thank you.